Hey guys, this is Mr. Yates. Hopefully you guys already downloaded the notes from Schoology on Notability here. We're going to go through some quick notes on section 6.1. I'll get your test graded and hopefully upload it over the weekend. So let's get going into these notes. Pretty simple stuff. It's going to start out pretty easy. We're going to get into what are called sequences, and we're going to introduce a sequence. So first thing we're going to talk about is if you had a chart, and this chart that you're looking at in front of you here, it says consider the following chart comparing the side length of an equilateral triangle and its perimeter. Okay, so I'm going to draw a little triangle above. You don't necessarily have to draw that triangle. You can just kind of take a look at it. And if I know that it's equilateral, that means all sides are equal. So that means it's going to be 2, 2, and 2. That means the perimeter of that is going to be 6 centimeters. Okay, I'm not going to draw a picture every time. If it's 3, 3, and 3, the perimeter is going to be 9 centimeters. If it's 4, 4, and 4, when you add those all together, you're going to get 12 centimeters. 5, 5, and 5 is going to be 15 centimeters. Okay, so what they want you to do with these sequences is kind of get used to recognizing patterns. So if you take a look at the chart, it goes from 1 to 3, 2 to 6, 3 to 9, 4 to 12, 5 to 15. Hopefully you realize that if you take the side length and you multiply it by 3, you're going to get the perimeter. So 1 times 3 is 3, 2 times 3 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9, and so forth. So when it says predict the perimeter of the triangle on each, it says predict the perimeter of the triangle is each side length is 20 centimeters. It's not very good English. The way I would do that is I'm just going to take 3 and multiply it by 20, which is the side length. 20 plus 20 plus 20, or 3 times 20, is 60. If we wanted to be formal, we'd say centimeters. Okay? It says create a formula that can be used to find the perimeter of an equilateral triangle with side length S. So P is going to be perimeter, and we're just going to multiply 3 times S. And that's kind of what we're going to get into a little bit is today I would say is more pattern recognition. We're not really going to be doing equation writing. We'll probably get into that as we move along in the sections here. Okay? So it says for the next set, find a pattern. If possible, it can be very helpful, or finding a pattern can, if possible, can be very helpful when evaluating a set of numbers. So in each of the found examples, a pattern can be found. Find the pattern and then determine the next 2 terms. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Okay, so things you should be doing on Model 1 is just looking from 1 to 3 and going, oh, that's plus 2. From 3 to 5, that's plus 2. From 5 to 7, that's plus 2. So hopefully you realize if I add 2, my next 2 numbers are going to be 9 and 11. So I'm going to pause this a second. I want you to take a second and try and do 2 and 3. So I'm going to pause it. Okay. If you take a look at that, hopefully you're looking between these 2 and between these 2, you're looking at those and going, hey, they're doubling. And when they double, you're multiplying by 2. So if I just continue that pattern and multiply 48 by 2, I get 96. Multiply 96 by 2, I get 192. Okay? Third one, kind of curious if you could get that one, okay? Because there's a little bit going on there. You're going to have to kind of look at it top and bottom. On top, the top of the fraction is going up by 2. So my next 2 numbers in that sequence for the numerator would be 9 and 11. On the bottom, you'll notice it's going up 5. Then it goes up 7. So hopefully you can predict that and go, then it's going to go up 9, which would be 25. And it's going to go up 11, which is going to be 36. So, I mean, these patterns can range from simple to pretty challenging. So just be prepared for that, okay? So we're going to have a definition now. It says a blank is a set of numbers, shapes, letters, etc. that forms a repeating pattern, and that's a sequence. So a sequence is a set of numbers, shapes, letters, etc. that forms a repeating pattern. Okay, so we're going to take a look at this and kind of talk about how to locate things. In the sequence, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, and then just ... means it continues. The 4th term is, so if you take a look at that and you count 1, 2, 3, 4, the fourth term is 16, okay? We write this as a to the fourth, so it's important that you realize that. So a represents the different terms. So a to the first power would be the first term, which is 2. A to the third power would be 8. So they just want you to get used to kind of recognizing that so they can introduce some vocab to you. And that's the last thing we're going to do on this page. It says, what formula can be used as a general rule for the sequence? Okay, and if you're looking at the sequence, hopefully you're looking at it and going, okay, I'm checking it from each time and noticing that it's multiplied by 2. Every time they're multiplying it by 2. So if I wanted to write a formula for that, and it says use, first thing we had to write the formula for the sequence. So basically, a to whatever location it is, whatever term it is, the n term is going to be 2 to the n power. So the a4 was 2 to the fourth, which was 16. The term a4 equals 2 to the fourth, which is 16. So it says use this formula to find a7 and a12. So a sub 7 is the formal way to say it, means 2 to the 7th power. You could do that in your calculator, you get 128. A sub 12 is 2 to the 12th power, which is 4,096. And remember, we're figuring that out. This is just coming from this formula that we created. So what's going on here? If you can recognize a pattern and you can establish a formula, then you can start predicting things, and you don't have to look through a pattern of 50 numbers. If you can get the pattern after 5 or 6 numbers, then you can make projections. And to be honest with you, that's what statistics is all about. That's what a lot of businesses are all about. Can you make and recognize can you make accurate predictions? Can you recognize trends and predict what's going to happen next? If you can do that, you're successful in business or whatever. If you can't do that, you're probably going to get fired, okay? So, next page. Sorry, I'm messing around with this. Let's switch to the next page. So, for the next part, this isn't too hard. They're going to give us a generic formula, and they're going to say a to the n equals 3n minus 1. And they want us to find the first 5 terms. So when I figure this out, I'm just going to say, okay, a to the first. And I'm going to plug in 3 times 1 minus 1. That gives me 2. So a sub 1, the value is 2. And then just continue. A sub 2, I'm going to plug in 2. So we're going to start out with a fairly simple situation where we're going to list the sequence. Okay? A sub 3, plug in 3. Get 8. A sub 4, plug in 4, get 11. A sub 5, plug in 5, get 14. Okay, so they're giving us the actual, formula or the sequence, and we're just predicting what the next ones are. So why don't you guys take a second and try number 2. I'm going to pause it, and I'll come back on with it, kind of a solution so you can check yours. Okay, I'm back. Take a look. All you're doing is just listen to the first 5 sequences. No problem. Okay, check your answers. Make sure you're good there. Okay, let's take a look at another one. Let's do one together, and we'll let you try one. Okay, so for this one, nothing crazy. We're just going to say a to the first power equals 2 to the first power over 4. And then you're going to reduce that to 1/2. A to the second power equals 2 to the second power over 4, which is the same thing as 4 over 4, which is 1. A to the third power equals 2 to the third power over 4, which is 8 over 4, which reduces to 2. A sub 4 is 2 to the fourth power over 4, which is 16 over 4, which reduces to 4. And the last one in the sequence, a sub 5 is 2 to the fifth power, which is 32, divided by 4 is 8. I'm going to pause it again. You guys give number 4 a try really quick. So I'm going to jump in and kind of explain this one. When I plug in 1 minus 3 is -2. Remember, we're going to flip that negative 2. I'm going to get rid of one a negative exponent anytime I have a simplified answer. So when it's negative 2, it flips it. So it really turns into 2. I'll write this kind of slow. 2 squared over 1 when you flip it, and that ends up being 4. Okay? You might have already done these. You can just check them and see if yours is matching up. When I go 2 minus 3, I get negative 1. Again, at the negative exponent, I need to flip it back positive. I end up getting 2. A to the a sub 3 is going to be 1/2. And again, it's n minus 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. Anything to the 0 power is 1. Don't forget that. A to the 4th, you get 1/2. When I go 4 minus 3, I get 1. So I'm just left with the fraction 1/2. And then a to the 5th is 1/2, and I go 5 minus 3, I get negative 2. I get a positive 2, sorry, because I'm going 5 minus 3 is a positive 2, caught that. And then I square top and bottom, so it ends up being 1 over 2 squared, which basically means square the top, square the bottom, and I get 1 over 4. Okay? So please take a moment and let me scold you for a minute. Last time we had one of these situations, you had time to work on your homework. Please take a minute, get your homework done, get your points, help your grade. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you guys on Monday.